The other type of pollutants in the land is sewage, like the relative of the refuse. This sewage is wet waste, like urine, fecal materials. Those are sewage. Now, it's also from the sources from farm offices. It results in offensive odor. It also serves as a breeding site for disease-causing organisms, because when you have dung all over the place, urine everywhere is smelling, it's very, very irritating and it can generate serious offensive odor. So how do we control land pollution or control sewage as a land pollutant? Sewage should be properly treated before disposal. Then legislation should be made by government against dumping of harmful or toxic waste anywhere. So okay, there should be specified places. Okay, use this method to dispose your sewage. Then the next pollutant of the land is pesticides and fertilizers. These are chemicals that we use to control pests, then to improve our soil performance respectively. So the sources of pesticide and fertilizer, we have the pesticide that you spray on your crops and the fertilizer that you apply to make your plants do well. The effects: one, they destroy useful soil organisms. They also the excessive fertilizer can also cause soil acidity. Then it can cause the death of some crops. When you have excess, it will lead to death of some crops. How do we control pesticides and fertilizer from causing land pollution, even though they are very good? Pesticide and fertilizer should be applied as instructed, especially by the manufacturer. Check the can or the sack of your pesticide and fertilizer. You will see instruction there. So follow the manufacturer's instructions strictly so that you don't pollute your farmland. Now, the next type of pollution we're talking about, which is the last one, is water pollution. Water pollution. The first pollutant of water is feces from farm animals. You know, animals are not like human beings that are so coordinated, just go about dropping anywhere. They are feces. So the sources of feces is from farm animals. What effect does their fecal material have on water? One, it produces unpleasant odor. It will smell because it will eventually decay, so it will start smelling. Then it serves as a medium for the breeding of pathogens. Pathogens will breed on it. So how do we control feces from farm animal from causing water pollution? There should be proper and efficient disposal of animal dung. Make sure your animal dung are properly disposed. The next pollutant of water is crude oil, or what we call oil spillage. Sources is oil drilling, loading and unloading of oil tankers. It's an accidental thing. Maybe when they are drilling oil, or when they are trying to load or offload the oil tanker, it might spill. So, what effect does oil spillage have on our water? First, it destroys our aquatic plants and animals because it affects the water bodies. Then two, it makes the water unfit for human and animal consumption. You cannot drink water that has oil, crude oil on it. It is very harmful. Then the food chain is affected. Why? Every organism in the water will be killed or poisonous. So, and the lower organisms are the ones that they are very critical in the food chain. They are the lower part of the food chain. They start the chain. So it will affect the food chain. Then it leads to migration of animals. When animals are around a water body that they cannot feed on, it's poisonous to them, it's not convenient, it's not comfortable, they will just move away. Then what control should we put in place to avoid crude oil causing water pollution? One, there should be efficient techniques to deal with or prevent oil spillage. Then two, governments or local authorities should strictly monitor all farm waste. Now, we'll be talking about farm surveying and planning. Farm surveying and planning. Farm surveying is a process of measuring and mapping out the position, the topography, the size, and the boundary of an area of farmland. You don't just get any land and plant and just be expecting good yield. No. You have to, okay, what's the size of my land? What's the topography? What's the boundary? So you have to do all that. So that is where farm surveying comes in. You can see that man is trying to view, trying to look at the farmland, that area of land, trying to look at, okay, how does it, what's the size and things like that. Then what importance is farm surveying and planning in agriculture? Is it really necessary? Can't we leave that to the architects and the likes? No, it is important. So, one, it helps us in determination of the size of our farmland. You know, okay, this is the point from which my farm starts from. This is the pillar to this other pillar. So you determine the size of the farm. Then it's for feasibility studies. Then it helps you to use your land properly. Then it helps you to know, okay, this land, this part of this land is like this side, okay, this one is very fertile for planting crop, okay, I can raise animal on this other end, okay, we can now erect farm buildings on this other end. So you can plan your farmland, then you can be able to locate your farm building. Then it is also necessary for soil classification. Talk about soil, sandy soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. You will not want to go and plant on a sandy soil. Rather, the portion where there is sandy soil on the farm, you use it for farm building. Then it helps you to project your yield. When you do your farm, okay, this is the area of land, okay, I'm expecting this because of the fertility of this land in this area that I'm using, I expect this. Then it's also important for collateral security. When you want to get loan as a farmer from the bank or from any organization that wants to give out loan to you as a farmer, at least you don't just say, okay, I have the land. What's that of the land? I don't know. It's just there. I have coconuts. No. The bank will have to take details of the farm from you. You're able to know, okay, this is 500 acres of land located on this side of the town and things like that. So it helps in collateral security. Then another importance is that you get your certificate of occupancy, that is the COO, and acquire certificate of occupancy. If you don't have that, anytime, any day, somebody can claim your land and you don't have anything to say about it because you don't have that critical document. Then construction of road. Okay, you want to size road so that people coming to farm, retailers and wholesalers that come to get farm produce. Okay, we want to construct roads to this farm that leads to the main road. So you'll be able to know, okay, the road will pass through this portion of the land. So it's very, very important for planning majorly. Now we'll be talking about common surveying equipment or instruments, and we'll be mentioning their functions. Now the first surveying equipment we'll be mentioning is the ranging pole. The ranging pole is made of wood or metal of varying length. It could be 1.8 meters, 2.4 meters, or even 3 meters. It is circular in section, though some are octagonal in shape. Then it is usually painted black, bright red, and white to enable it to be seen from a distance. Like you can see this one, it's painted white and red, so you can easily see it from a distance. Then it is used for marking station and for making straight lines. So that's the function of the ranging pole. I can see it here. The color, the size, and the function is that it is used for marking station and for making straight line. The next one is the Gunter's chain. Gunter's chain consists of a series of dumbbell-shaped links of steel wires joined together by 3 small rings. It is about 20.13 meters in length. That's about 66 feet. Then it has a brass handle at either side. It is divided into 100 links so that each link is 19.8 or 7.92 inches. A link is the distance from the middle of the central ring to the middle of the next central link. And the chain is entirely mechanic. It is used in taking short or detailed measurements of length and breadth. So you can see the illustration here. The next surveying equipment or instrument we're talking about is the measuring tape. It is usually made up of lining or fine steel sheets. It is usually marked on one side with metric units and the other side with the imperial units. It is of various types and lengths. It is normally wound in a small case form where it is unwound for use. I know you must have seen the tape. You can see the illustration here. You can just draw it out when you want to measure. Then once you are done, it's